this topic is so nice because it has so many aspects and it's so unpredictable. Our common sense sometimes is so poor to understand the multi variations involved. Take, for example, the matter of ecological aspects. Everybody would think, oh, yeah, nice, let's control it ecologically. Good idea, right? Right. The world is being destroyed, the end of the world and all that. But there are so many things to make this control possible. So the first big thing is that you want to control, you want to make the people that do ayahuasca rituals plant ayahuasca and condition the use of ayahuasca to planting. Okay, that's a good idea. I think it's a good idea, okay? But this actually, it can be like an undercover means of control of them. Why? Because they create such a hard bureaucracy that you cannot match the objectives of the requirements of the government. Because it's not only planting, you have to make a management project. So that demands like an engineer of the forests and a whole many things. And then they start to put a lot of rules that the little groups cannot match. So only the big groups are able to match this. And then how are you going to control the proportion? The little groups have to plant a little, and the big groups have to plant a lot. This is one problem. The other problem is, well, isn't that a little bit unfair? I mean, you have all those lumber companies just tearing down the whole Amazon, and one tree you cut down, you cut a lot of vine together. So why don't you go control them? Because this is big scale, and then you're controlling this little guy, that is wanting to drink his ayahuasca because his son is ill, or, that person in São Paulo that is full of problems and existential crisis that sees ayahuasca as some sort of help, and you get very hard on them. And what about all these lumber companies? This is another problem. The other problem is that you incentivize people to plant ayahuasca on the surroundings of São Paulo, Brasília, Rio de Janeiro, the big cities. And these groups, they are located like in urban areas near environmental reserves. And then there's the bureaucracy of putting a different species into that natural environment. So you get like overlapped with local environmental laws, because this would be like invasion of a foreign species. Another problem, some people are going to complain that if you start to plant the same variety, you lose genetic diversity of the species. So it is all full of challenges. But what I recommend and what I think is nice and what I am doing is plant ayahuasca. Everybody that wants to drink ayahuasca should plant ayahuasca. You cannot plant ayahuasca, you are in the first world, pay somebody in the third world to plant ayahuasca for you. Why? Because otherwise you're just reproducing the violent domination model of capitalism, of exploiting nature up to our most profound needs. So this all ecological, reflection and discourse, people are just, do they care? It should be some sort of certification. They're paying high money to drink ayahuasca, but how much of that money is being directed back to the forest? So I think this, it should be kind of a consumer's right. People that drink ayahuasca with the shamans that travel around, they should try to know what is the payback. And this is not only, there is like the more ecological stereotype, fight in this, but the more spiritual and profound reason for that is that we end up having a very, very mediated relationship to this plant, There's the plant there, and there's the glass here. Like, there's the tomato in the farm, and there's the tomato in my hamburger, And how does this process go? And who is responsible for it? And who is handling it? So you want to drink ayahuasca, you have to learn the plant. You have to recognize the plant. You want to be a shaman, you don't know how to recognize the plant. You want to give ayahuasca to others. It should be tested, Before giving a glass of ayahuasca to other people, go to the forest with your eyes closed and are left there in the forest and stay there with a match and a pot and come back with ayahuasca cooked. That's for me, that's the people I respect. That's the people I respect. you cook ayahuasca, you plant ayahuasca, you know how to, because that's the ultimate goal, I think. Well, sometimes I get carried away by my own beliefs. But anyway, for me, it is the way it is. When I got more involved, you naturally want to know the plant, you know. And if you cook, if you plant, can you imagine the pleasure of drinking ayahuasca you have planted? And it's a beautiful way of aging too, you know, if you plant ayahuasca, because always when you're getting older, you're getting like white hair, back pains and all that. But if you're planting ayahuasca, the time is going in favor of you, you know, because you're getting older, but something there is growing. So I see it that way. I'm planting ayahuasca, and I'm looking very much forward for when I can be able to cook it and drink that ayahuasca. And to drink the ayahuasca you cooked, it's the most delicious pleasure. It's unbelievably better. And I think this process is being lost. So I'm in favor of ecological controls, not only because of, you know, damage to nature, but also for us urban citizens lost in books and conflicts and university references, to try to at least have some contact with the plant, you know.
Yeah. So can you change halves and